When you think about innovations in software, you probably think about things that make it easier to use. But what if instead of software coaching you on how to use it, like what buttons to push or what file menus to open, the software could just use itself once it knew what you wanted? And what if it could also take some initiative, suggest ways it could help you out based on your situation, and with your permission, it could take those tasks on itself and operate more like an extra set of hands? That's what we're beginning to see with a new wave of AI agents, sometimes called digital workers, that are just starting to be released, including some by the global fintech platform Intuit, which makes TurboTax, Credit Karma, QuickBooks, and MailChimp. Their new AI agents can do things like send invoices, track payments, reconcile a small business's books, and manage customer leads. And the company's CEO is calling it the most significant release in the company's history. I'm Jennifer Strong, and this is Shift.
Now here on the steering column is a device called Auto Cruise. You simply set the speed you want.
Self-driving robo-taxis are already on the road in 2 U.S. cities.
As the disc rotates, a mirror reflects the light in the way that depends on how the signal was recorded.
This is the 100 terabyte empty call. I present to you Electro, the Moto Man.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I would say that one of my greatest skills is my ability to interact with humans.
This episode, we learn about Intuit's new AI agents in the latest installment of our Oral History Project. Harness the power of AI agents at scale without vendor limitations. The agency, spelled AGNTCY, is the open-source collective building the Internet of Agents to enable seamless agent-to-agent collaboration. Explore use cases on agency.org now. That's agntcy.org. How do you collaborate with AI? Miro's Innovation Workspace is an intelligent platform that brings people and AI together in a shared space to get great work done. Miro has been empowering teams to transform bold ideas into the next big thing for more than a decade. Now, they're at the forefront of bringing products to market even faster by unleashing the combined power of AI and human potential. Help your teams get great done with Miro. Check out Miro.com to find out how. That's MIRO.com.
Hi, my name is Alex Balazs. I am the Chief Technology Officer of Intuit. So one of the agents that I'm actually really proud of is our customer agent. So what does the customer agent do? So you can imagine there's a small business and they use Gmail. And inside of Gmail, they have hundreds of emails. And some of these emails, many of these emails, are potential customers who reached out to them because on their website they saw an email and said, hey, send an email to this email address. And the time that they would have to spend to go through all of these emails and to figure out which of these people are serious, which ones are not serious, which ones are asking for things that I actually do, and which ones are things that's really not what I do. And so what the customer agent does is it actually, you can connect your Gmail account and it will go through all of your emails and it will identify who are all your leads. Who are the ones who are actually asking you for new work? Which ones are the hot leads? Which are the ones that are likely very connected to what you want to do? If it identifies a series of hot leads, you can actually click on them. And with one click of the button, you could say, please set up an appointment with this customer. And it will send a message out to the customer, and the customer will have the ability to pick an appointment time that works for them and it works for you. When the appointment time comes, there'll be a video chat between the business owner and the potential customer, and they'll discuss the project. As they discuss the project, the business owner can jot down notes of what an estimate might look like for this job. They agree and say that this is a good idea. They end the video call. The business owner takes a picture of that estimate. It gets uploaded into QuickBooks. It automatically gets turned into a digital estimate, and the estimate is sent off and emailed to that customer. The email clicks yes, they accept the customer. Now the customer CRM system basically says this thing that was a warm lead is now officially a customer. They're a paying customer, and it can move on to the next series of agents around making sure you get paid, making sure you follow up with the customer, making sure the project actually gets done. So that's an example where a job that would have taken the business owner hours and hours and hours just to get ready to make the call, the moment they show up, they're immediately ready to actually grow their customers. Unbelievably, I joined Intuit almost 26 years ago, 1999. I was hired as part of the team that created the first version of QuickBooks Online. So I joined a desktop software company. We shipped a lot of CDs in boxes in places like Costco and Target and so on and so forth. And it's amazing to think back to that day that we were this small but mighty team, and we were tasked with, hey, put businesses online. They all buy these CDs, they run them on their local devices. You have to be able to do this online. And that really started this journey of Intuit moving past shrink-wrapped software to software as a service. So we started putting these products online. And then we said, boy, it's got to be more than just about these individual products. We should actually think about them as working well together. And so we created the platform that actually connects all these products together. And that really was the dawn of the Intuit platform about 10 years ago. And over the course of the past 10 years, we've been looking to modernize the services that we have, the data that we have, and to really put all of this data and make sure it's the fingertips of all of our customers so it can power all these experiences that they need. And around the same time, we started to invest in AI. And we said, boy, we really can leverage this AI to begin to automate some of the decisions that our customers have to make. I actually think about 9 years ago, I was in the TurboTax group. And we actually trained one of the first ML models at Intuit. And it was just a simple model. It was predicting, are you going to be an itemized filer or should you take the standard deduction? And it was one of the biggest drop-off points in TurboTax. We actually noticed that if customers picked itemized and the standard deduction would have given them a bigger refund, they get frustrated and they leave. So we said, we have to be able to use AI to predict this. And much to our surprise, we were able to predict one of our first models up to about 97% accuracy of which they would be. And that was one of the early examples of we can really leverage AI to automate and to move past the origins of the company where we're going to make it simple for you to do it yourself. And we're actually going to do the work for you. We're going to make the decisions for you. Until about 2 years ago when we declared, we're actually going to create done-for-you experiences. So it's not about the experience is simple for you. We're going to do it for you. And doing it for you means the AI might do it for you, but we're going to add HI, human intelligence as well. And the combination of artificial intelligence plus human intelligence allows you to truly build done-for-you experiences. Certainly about 1.5 years ago, 2 years ago, when OpenAI launched ChatGPT, it created an acceleration of this entire strategy. It also created new tools that are available. So being able to leverage these investments in our services and our data in basic AI to then leverage generative AI. And generative AI started as, wow, we can actually put a human interface on top of our software. It can actually speak natural language. And then we said, boy, there's so much more that we can do. We can take entire features and just automate the features. So you don't have to worry about extracting data off of a document. We can extract the data off a document, put it on the form, turn it into an invoice. And then we realized, boy, it goes actually beyond automating an individual feature. What if we can automate the entire workflow? And with agentic AI, we're actually able to automate entire workflows end to end. So it's not just about extracting the data off of that document and putting it on an invoice. It's about sending that invoice to the customer. It's about checking to see, did they actually pay their invoice? If they didn't pay their invoice, automatically sending invoice reminders with the right tone to actually improve the speed at which they'll actually pay those invoices. And the impact on our customers has been huge. We've seen that on average, a customer that uses agentic-based invoice reminders, they get paid on an average of 5 days faster. So hallucinations are absolutely something that you have to be very aware of. There's a lot of well-publicized instances where the AI, the generative AI, will hallucinate. I think it's really important to use the AI for what it's good for and try to stay away from the things that maybe it's not so good at. And you also have to stay on top of the AI. So let me talk about both of those. So our investments in the Intuit platform over the past 10 years is even more powerful in the age of AI because the AI is very good at processing human language. It's very good at making basic decisions of should I do A or B. It can actually determine what data do I actually need to make a decision? What service should I call? But in the end, our platform makes those decisions. It does the calculations. It does the final implementation of actually solving some of these jobs. And so you take the best of what AI is and the best of the investments that we've made in our platform, and you put them together. And it's actually a huge advantage for us, because if there's a player out there, a relatively new player, and they've got the agents, they've got the AI, but they don't have the investments in the platform. So I think that's been a big advantage for us, and it's something that we're very aware of to make sure that we understand what is the AI good at and what is it maybe not so good at. The second aspect of it is that we have put specific safeguards in place, both AI safeguards and human safeguards, to really keep track of what the AI is doing. We have a capability that's called Gen Eval, that's part of Gen OS, our generative AI operating system, that basically evaluates the responses from the LLMs. And it actually has the ability to very accurately predict, is it hallucinating? Is it giving an incorrect answer? How accurate do we believe this estimate is that it did? How accurate is the categorization that it just did on this transaction? And so you put all these together with the combination of human experts coming in and both inspecting it during design time to say, yeah, I think these models are well trained. And also during runtime, that our agents are actually very good at saying, hey, I think I got this right, or I don't know if I got this right. I'm probably 75% accurate. You should probably check it, or I can get a human expert to check it for you. So the way that we've approached hallucinations is to really focus the AI on, hey, let's have it solve the part of the job it's good at, and let's bring in human experts at the times when it's not so good at it.
AI agent collaboration isn't all that easy for enterprises. As an open source collective, the agency, spelled AGNTCY, is building the Internet of Agents, a shared collaboration layer where AI agents can discover, communicate, and collaborate. To learn from AI innovators such as Cisco, Crew AI, LangChain, and MongoDB, visit agency.org and explore use cases now. That's agntcy.org. With Miro's Innovation Workspace, you can get instant feedback from AI sidekicks. Call in a product leader, agile coach, or a product marketing alliance sidekick. Miro helps teams accelerate through the full innovation cycle, helping them get from ideas to outcome faster. Miro has been empowering teams to transform bold ideas into the next big thing for more than a decade. Now, they're at the forefront of bringing products to market even faster by unleashing the combined power of AI and human potential. Miro's Innovation Workspace will help your teams be faster, more productive, and ultimately more effective. Here's how. Teams can work with Miro AI to turn unstructured data, like sticky notes or screenshots, into usable diagrams, product briefs, data tables, and prototypes in just minutes. It's more than putting a bunch of ideas on a board. You can rapidly iterate with your teammates to bring ideas to life fast. And you can quickly build on your ideas without needing the perfect prompt, so you don't have to be an AI master or to toggle through yet another tool. The work you're already doing on Miro's canvas is the prompt. And in my experience, it saves time, it's easy to use, and it's actually fun. For a podcast like mine, you could use it to streamline and develop a new process or generate ideas. Help your teams get great done with Miro. Check out Miro.com to find out how. That's MIRO.com.
Not everyone understands what an invoice is or what certain forms mean, but they understand what it means to get paid by a customer. They understand what it means to get a new customer. And so we have implemented our agents in a way. So basically, we've released a series of agents. You could think of them as like an extended part of your team. And the way that we approach these agents was, don't think of them as the automation of software. Think of them as, if you delegated this to a human being, what would the human being do? And then implement that end-to-end workflow using agentic AI as if a human did it. And that's the way our agents act. They act like human beings. And so they will implement the whole end-to-end workflow. In the cases where they can get it done for you, they will get it done. They will show you the work that they did, and you have final control to say, yes, do that for me. In the case where they can do part of the work, but they can't do all of it, it will automatically send it to a human expert, either one of our experts that we employ at Intuit or one of our accountant partners, and they will finish the task. And I'm really excited about this release because our agents that we've released are now solving the most important jobs that these customers need done by us so they can actually get back to what they wanted to do, right? So when someone opens up a flower shop, they did it so they can actually operate a flower shop. They didn't start a flower shop so they can do accounting or so they can do taxes. So the power of the Intuit platform, or just platform strategy in general, is that when you create a platform, you have services and data that can be reused. So historically, we talked about it as leverage. So what does that mean? That means that the product, TurboTax, there's a team of engineers who are actually building TurboTax. Half of TurboTax.com, where you actually use the product, is actually not built by the TurboTax team. It's consumed from the Intuit platform. Similarly, when you create QuickBooks, a huge percentage, about 50% of QuickBooks, is not built by the QuickBooks team. It's consumed by the Intuit platform and actually shared across TurboTax and QuickBooks. So the platform gives you leverage by implementing services so they can do things like, common things like log the user in, store their profile information, manage their subscriptions, show them the right next best action of the product that they might want to use. These are common capabilities. In addition to that, it's the data. So what's all the data that we collected about you? And is it clean and organized and connected to your identity so that you have the power to decide when are the times that I consent that it be used by that next service? And so that's what a platform is. It creates leverage. And then when you're actually using it with AI, it actually creates better speed and accuracy and really better outcomes and predictions from the AI, because it's not just the AI doing this on its own. It actually has access to all these services and all this data to make all these decisions. One of the most important lessons as it relates to building out these types of capabilities, and it doesn't matter if you're a company like Intuit or maybe even a company that doesn't consider themselves to be a technology company, AI is here. And you literally have to push very, very hard for adoption. And so what does adoption look like? I had a great conversation with Thomas Kurian, the CEO of GCP, the Google Cloud. And I was asking him, how did he really upskill his team to really start to think about leveraging AI at every touch point across Google? And he said, Alex, the best way to do that is to give them access to AI tools. Because if in your everyday job, you are using AI and you understand the power of how you can do your job better with AI, suddenly you'll want to do that for your customers. And so my encouragement for all the executives out there is use AI. So a couple of lessons on agents. One is you have to just start building. You hope that there's some type of like playbook or some kind of standard way to do it. The standards are evolving. Intuit itself is working together with Google and other companies on the A-to-A protocol, which is how one agent can talk to another agent. All these are evolving standards, so you just have to start building. Number two is make sure that you're very clear about keeping track of what the agent does. At some point, you want a human to come in and inspect what happened. You have to be very clear about what exactly is this agent doing. The third thing, and maybe the most important thing, is as you think about building agentic capabilities, you have to be very customer back. So what that means is assume that that agent is interacting with a human being. What would that human being want it to do? Think of it as like a job that it solves or an entire experience that can be eliminated. So think of it as an end-to-end workflow. Don't think of it as automating a single thing. Agents are really good at actually weaving together multiple operations, figuring out what's the next thing that I should do. And of all the things I have access to, all the services and data, which one should I pick? And so pick problems that are actually complicated workflows and implement them end to end.
This episode was produced by me and Emma Cillekens and mixed by Garret Lang, with original music from him and Jacob Gorski. Thanks for listening. I'm Jennifer Strong. Harness the power of AI agents at scale without vendor limitations. As an open-source collective, the agency, spelled AGNTCY, is building the Internet of Agents to enable seamless agent-to-agent collaboration. For business leaders, this means faster innovation and scalable solutions tailored to the multi-agent software your enterprise is creating. Visit agency.org to explore use cases now. That's agntcy.org.